What makes these wines so valuable? Is it the taste, the rarity, or simply the story behind them? Today, we're diving into the top 10 most expensive wines ever sold. And trust me, you'll be shocked by what people pay for just one sip. Make sure you stick around for number 1, because it's the holy grail of wines, with a price tag that will blow your mind. 10 Screaming Eagle Cabernet Sauvignon 1992, $500,000. Let's start in California, Napa Valley, home to one of the most iconic American wines, Screaming Eagle. Back in 2000, at a charity auction, a bottle of the 1992 vintage sold for $500,000. What's crazy is that this was the winery's very first vintage, and yet it beat out centuries-old French wines at auction. 9 Jeroboam of Chateau Mouton Rothschild 1945, $310,700. Number 9 is a true piece of history. This isn't just a bottle, it's a Jeroboam, which means it's 3 liters of wine, equivalent to 4 standard bottles. The year: 1945. A vintage that marked the end of World War II. The Rothschild family celebrated with a special label featuring a bold V for victory. This bottle is rare, collectible, and symbolically powerful. 1 Jeroboam sold at Christie's auction for $310,700. 8 Cheval Blanc 1947, $304,375. This next one is often called the miracle wine. Why? Because the weather in Bordeaux in 1947 was so hot that it caused unpredictable fermentation conditions. Normally, this would ruin a wine. But instead, it created a unique, almost syrupy texture that collectors can't get enough of. The Chateau Cheval Blanc 1947 is widely considered one of the greatest wines of the 20th century, and a single bottle sold for over $300,000. It's so famous that even people who don't drink wine have heard of it. Imagine paying the price of a house for something you could finish in a single evening. 7 Shipwrecked 1907 Heidsieck, $275,000. This one comes with an adventure story. During World War I, a ship carrying champagne was torpedoed by a German submarine. The bottles sank to the bottom of the Baltic Sea, where they remained untouched for nearly 80 years. When divers finally recovered them, the bottles were perfectly preserved thanks to the cold, dark conditions underwater. Each bottle of this shipwreck champagne now sells for up to $275,000. Collectors say drinking it is like tasting history. But honestly, if I had one of these bottles, I don't think I'd even dare to open it. 6 Chateau Lafite 1869, $230,000. In 2010, an auction in Hong Kong stunned the wine world when 3 bottles of Chateau Lafite 1869 sold for $230,000 each. Why so expensive? First, Lafite is one of the most prestigious estates in Bordeaux. Second, the Asian wine market places huge cultural value on rare Lafite vintages. The 1869 vintage is extremely limited, making it a must-have for serious collectors. For them, owning a bottle isn't about drinking it, it's about prestige and bragging rights. 5 Chateau Margaux 1787, $225,000. This one is tragic. The 1787 Chateau Margaux was believed to have belonged to Thomas Jefferson, the 3rd U.S. president. Jefferson spent years in France as ambassador and was known to collect wines. The bottle even had his initials, THJ, etched into the glass. But here's the heartbreaking part. When it was shown at a fancy dinner in New York, the bottle was accidentally knocked over and shattered. Broken heart. Thankfully, it had been insured for $225,000. Even broken, its value was recognized as priceless. 4 Chateau Lafite Rothschild 1787, $156,450. Another Jefferson-linked bottle. This one also carried his initials and was sold at Christie's auction for $156,450. Some historians debate whether Jefferson truly owned these bottles or not, but the connection makes them incredibly desirable. For collectors, wine isn't always about taste, it's about owning a piece of history that connects you to a famous figure. 3 Penfolds Block 42 Cabernet Sauvignon 2004, $168,000. From France, we jump to Australia. Penfolds is the country's most famous winery, and their 2004 Block 42 came in a very unusual package, a hand-blown glass ampoule. No cork, No screw cap, just a futuristic glass vessel sealed with modern technology. 2 Chateau d'Yquem 1811, $117,000. This is a dessert wine, not a red, and it's legendary. The 1811 Chateau d'Yquem is widely considered one of the greatest vintages in history. Incredibly, bottles from this year are still drinkable, more than 200 years later. Collectors describe it as sweet, rich, and almost immortal in quality. One bottle sold for $117,000, proving that great wine can truly stand the test of time. 1 Domaine de la Romanée-Conti 1945, $558,000. And finally, the King of Wines, the Domaine de la Romanée-Conti 1945, often simply called DRC. This vineyard in Burgundy, France, is considered the pinnacle of Pinot Noir. In 1945, only 600 bottles were produced, making it one of the rarest vintages ever. At Sotheby's auction, one bottle sold for $558,000, more than the price of a Lamborghini. So there you have it, the 10 most expensive wines in the world. From shipwrecked champagne to presidential collections and record-breaking French vintages, each bottle carries a story that goes beyond taste. Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss our next countdown. Until next time, cheers!